Beyond. Welcome to episode 57 of Podcast Beyond.
57.
I'm your host, Chris Roper, editor-in-chief of the IGN PlayStation team. The whole crew is here once again.
Yay.
Greg Miller, what is up?
Nothing.
Jeff Haynes, how's it going?
Feeling it.
Ryan Clements, how's it being an ass editor?
I'm so excited.
He's back
man.
from Germany.
Oh, God.
Yep.
He survived.
Survived?
I'm surprised.
Thank you.
Hillary had money on you not surviving, but
I
apparently
just don't
you did.
come back at all.
You lost him some money.
Yeah.
Good week.
My
All right.
question is, did he actually have money down? Or
Yes,
were you
he
just
did.
joking?
We saw it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
Who did he
Couple
bet on
buns. I believe it was Eric, and
There
I
you
think
go.
it was some of the guys from the Guides channel.
See, then automatically that's faulted because Eric could have protected you since he was also over there.
There you go.
Yeah, I know.
I actually don't know what's the actual losing condition that I just don't come back at all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you don't come back. If you die or you just don't come back or you come back and immediately quit, I think that was also part of it.
okay.
In theory, it was a little faulted, but I think Eric was going to try to get rid of Clements
Okay.
in Germany.
But then that would have caused him
Throw
to
me
lose
in a
money.
ditch.
So
Real quick,
he had a win-win situation.
Tell a story of how you saw a wizard. I like that story.
Oh, that's a great story.
The wizard with Fred Savage?
No.
No, I saw like an actual magic wielding wizard,
Ooh.
like a real one.
Let's hear it.
All right, so it's
Story
I think
time.
it's about 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and we are bar
Story time
hopping
with
in the cobblestone streets of Leipzig. Very charming, actually. A lot of nice European people running about. Charles, myself, Eric, Clayman, and I think Craig was there also. So we're walking in a pack. We're going down the street. All of a sudden, as we kind of go into this square like intersection, we pass along it, and there's a friggin' wizard standing there. And as I say in my blog, it's not like a little kid in cosplay. Like, I'm talking about an old wrinkled man with a huge beard, a giant wizard's hat, a cloak, and in one hand he's got like this
Gandalf.
massive lance,
like
like a
Gandalf.
staff
Wait, a
with like a
lance?
blade on the top, and in the other hand he's holding like a map, like a modern like map of like the area, and he's just looking at it, kind of like his brow furrowed in confusion, and he's looking at this map, and as I'm walking by, I'm like, there's a friggin' wizard right there. And then like I kind of like look over at Charles, and Charles just like shrugs, and like we start walking by. We pass him. We all continue down the street. And I'm like, did you see that guy? And Charles was like, dude, I don't want to say anything. That guy could seriously F us up, you know? And obviously I'm just trying to bleep myself out to avoid editing later.
That's how Charles
but,
really speaks.
Yeah.
You get a-
Anyway, we pass. Just a few moments later, we realize that the bar is not in this direction, so we need to turn around and go back. As soon as we turn around and start going back that way, he's gone. Like there's no indication that the wizard was ever there. Like I even like looked down all the streets of that intersection. I didn't see him anywhere. And Charles was like, that guy was obviously a real wizard. He temporarily passed through our realm with the map, and he's like, where am I? Oh, wrong place, and teleported out of there.
Went to
so
the space between
we just
spaces.
he was
Knowledge was his treasure.
He went to the
course.
space between spaces. Yeah, that was seriously freaking out. Like we were freaking out about that. It was really funny.
Very interesting. That's
Leipzig is a strange place.
That is a perfect segue to the Roper Report.
Time for some news.
This week's news sucks. There's a couple things that are kind of cool. The biggest, of course, is that there are hints that Metal Gear Solid 5 is in the works.
What?
Planning stages, perhaps. We don't know. Ryan Payton, dude extraordinaire over at Kojima Productions.
Dude extraordinaire.
Has he did so many things. I don't know. But he left Kojima Productions, I guess.
Former dude extraordinaire.
Former dude. He's probably still dude extraordinaire.
But you said of Kojima.
Former
Productions.
of, yeah.
There we go.
Dude extraordinaire, formerly of.
Formerly, yeah, there you go.
Yes.
Good job.
So he left, I guess, after MGS4. That was enough for him.
I'm done.
He pulled a George and just I'm out of here.
Well, he had some family issues. His mom is dealing with some health problems.
Okay,
So
well there you go. But
he wants to be closer to family.
Way to bring it down on this. But anyway, so he.
I'm just saying he didn't just decide to abandon the productions.
So he, during an exit interview, he mentions that he's going to be sad that he's not going to be able to work on Metal Gear Solid 5, which, could just be him saying if there was one, he'd be sad that he couldn't work on it, or it could be him saying they're working on it and I'm sad I'm not going to be there to work on it more.
Well, he did
So-
say he'd be cheering from the sidelines, and he knows that Ken and Hideo Kojima are going to do incredible things with it. So it does kind of hint that there's a lot more planning and possible implementation.
I'm
than
itching to play as
is
Sonny.
known.
Yeah, that's going to be
As
amazing.
Sonny?
Cooking
Yeah,
some
that's the
egg.
future. That's
Cooking
Metal
egg,
Gear
Cooking
5.
mini games.
Can I interject for 1 second?
No.
Uh-oh.
Database Mike and I were at dinner last night, and we were discussing these possibilities, and we were thinking about the next Metal Gear game. Here's
Metal
where
Gear.
we were thinking the next game might very well be called Raiden Gaiden, and
No.
or Metal Gear Babies Edition, and it would star Raiden's son and that little Latino kid that right at the end that Sony befriends, and it would be like the two of them saving the world.
That is probably the worst ever idea.
Can we disconnect his mic for a few minutes?
Yes. Which one are you on?
Nope.
You're on 5. You're off. Ryan's off the show.
No.
He's gone.
You're gone.
You're gone.
You're in a
closet.
timeout. You're in the corner.
Remember this?
Timeout.
Timeout corner. Talk over him. We can't hear him.
Oh
Okay, so-
yeah.
Recording.
That's right. Yeah.
I just can't hear my.
No, you're blocked out.
Yeah,
You're not picking up. I
That is
moved this.
perfect.
I moved the slider. I didn't press the button.
That is awesome.
I've correctly muted you. You can if you yell across the room, we can hear you.
Power of Chris Roper.
Yes.
You're out of the show until the rope report's
You pulled
over.
the database mic. Oh,
He's
he's
out
free
there.
on the headset.
He's done. He's out.
He knows
All right.
how strong the equipment is that he's willing to throw it. And
Ryan has left the room.
Yes,
you know
he
what's
has left
funny
the
too
building.
is right before the show was starting, Ryan was complaining that he picked up the headsets.
The broken
that had
headset.
One
Broken.
of the two
And now he
headsets
just
was
broke
out.
the other one.
Now he threw the other one across the room. So now you're gonna be a busted one. Your timeout's probably only about another minute. The rope report's over. There's not much else to talk about. The other cool bit of news that
Ryan's back.
Ryan was there in Germany to hear firsthand probably was that Killzone 2 have bots, which is pretty big news because a lot of console shooters don't have those sorts of things. Harkens back to the Time Splitters days of fighting against monkeys,
Excellent.
which is great times. Geon Emotions is coming to the PlayStation Network according to an ESRB listing of the, rating or whatever. I didn't like it on 360, but great. It's coming. There's another game. And then the last bit of news I'll mention today is that for all you Dynasty Warriors and or Gundam and or Dynasty Warriors Gundam fans, a sequel is coming to the PS3, 360, and PS2, shipping on December 4th in Japan. No U.S. release date yet, but you have to assume it's coming. Ryan, you are back in the show. How is it going?
Hello. Okay, I can hear myself.
Are your
Back
headphones
from the
still working?
Phantom
Yeah,
Zone.
they're working fine. Although I'm a
great.
little quieter now, but
All
I
right.
think I'm okay.
No, you're at the same level you had
Okay.
before.
There we go. I'm good.
I put you back in there. All right, getting on with the show. There's quite a few big releases this week, or at least one, I guess.
Sure.
Craig,
Yeah.
do you have anything you can...
Let me dig up the official IGN list of upcoming PlayStation software on all 3 platforms by the IGN editors. Oh.
Man,
If only this was a video podcast.
Ryan,
I turned to Ryan for the song, and that's what I get.
Ryan-
Finger
Ryan
in the
came up
face.
with a bird.
The
Face.
finger in the face. Well, then.
Wow.
and it's not the index finger.
Wow. The PS2 had Tiger Woods 09
Threw
and
'em
Ferrari
off.
Challenge. PSP had Tiger Woods 09 and N+, which Ryan hates and Damon Hatfield loves.
Hates.
PS3 has
no.
Disgaea 3, Tiger Woods 09, Ferrari Challenge, and The Last Guy on the PlayStation Network.
Last guy.
You should not say that I hated N+, because that's not true. I thought it's a good game. I just didn't
wants
like
to
it as
die.
much as
Well,
Damon
you hate
did.
me, obviously.
That's not
Get
true.
me off.
That is true.
I deserve that. I'm bad to Ryan. Yesterday I streamed. I was playing a game and it
That
was not
genuinely
going well.
funny, though.
And I was very upset, and Ryan was trying to break the mood with. So I'm like, "Come on, Greg,
I
keep
was
it
like,
down
"It's
over
all
there."
right, Greg.
And I just yelled the F word, "F you!"
Now's not the time.
And I threw the controller at the wall separating us and did something on the computer.
Yeah.
What do we have from Zombie Blognack? Is he get
Well, do we
put
have
back
a pick
in?
of the week out of those
well,
fights?
We do it after this now.
Yeah, we'll do it after Zombie Blognack moans.
Oh, fine.
Did
Fantastic.
he get shipped back with the luggage from Germany?
Yes, he did actually. And
Oh, did you guys send him to Germany with
Yeah.
me?
Yeah, he was there.
Ah, I didn't
You
even
didn't see him?
realize. I didn't see
He's
him.
probably
He was
under
probably
the
the
desk.
wizard.
he went
Oh,
to
yeah.
the strip club. He told me.
Eat some
But
dude.
actually, he came back with a few things like The Last Guy, like Warhawk Operation Fallen Star,
Booyah.
Which
Booyah,
adds trophies.
which has trophies now with the
And
with the
jetpacks.
1.5 update. There's going to be a couple demos, and supposedly there will be a Little Big Planet Sackzilla trailer.
Ooh.
Wait,
They already.
I've seen that, though.
Yeah, they released it online already.
Yeah, well,
so that's just.
There's
sort of-
Last Guy
if you haven't
wallpapers
seen it.
too.
Which
Yeah.
yeah.
That trailer is awesome.
The trailer
by the
is
way.
fantastic.
Yeah,
so if you
that's
haven't seen that
incredible.
thing yet, when it hits the
You can
store, go
download it.
download it. It's awesome. So
That game
that's
is
pretty cool.
just going to be God in game form.
Yeah. Pick of the week. I think we got to go with. We got to go with Last Guy this week. I think.
The Last Guy.
I'm a big Tiger Woods fan, so you can't go wrong with Tiger Woods. I think. But Last Guy is certainly this
I didn't
week's
know you were a Tiger
quirkiest.
Woods fan.
Yeah, I love
Oh,
the series.
okay, cool.
I used to play golf in college. I was respectable, not good. My handicap was probably only about 400. But which is terrible.
I don't even know what that means.
Nobody here obviously plays.
Yeah, we're
It's
not
terrible.
Never played golf.
But anyway, I love the franchise. But anyway,
Last Guy was awesome though.
Yeah, we got to go with Last Guy.
And it's new and fresh and crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
$10.
And it's got great music.
Yep.
And you work
That's
for
not the music we're listening to.
and you work for the Earth,
Earth.
just
Yeah.
like Will Smith.
Yep.
United what? Rescue
Rescue
Foundation? Rescue Force. There you go.
I love that, man.
There you go. Trophy tips. Just the tip. Warhawk came out. I haven't played it since the trophies hit up there, but
I have been.
You have been. Anybody else in the room have been playing Warhawk since then?
Only a little.
They're easy.
Okay, well,
You
give
can
us.
get 3 simple ones, jump into training and do those. There's ground training, Warhawk training, and combat training, right? No, or vehicle training.
Vehicle.
So those 3, jump in. It's like 5 minutes of your time. You get a bronze. Bronze. Right now, I'm doing the server trophy, which is run a dedicated server for 4 hours for ranked matches. That's going on at my desk right now. There's that.
What does that get you?
I'm not sure. It's locked
That one I
in.
So
believe
you're
is a
earning a
silver.
trophy while you podcast.
Yeah,
True.
That one I believe
Multitasking.
is a silver.
Damn right it is.
But there's some of them.
So
that,
far, no one's joined. I'm 2 hours into this, and no one has joined the server.
But there's some of them that are a lot harder.
Oh,
They're-
yeah.
They're trickier primarily because it's based around like a lot of the Warhawk style setup. So if you're going to try and get things like the lieutenant or the captain medal or some of the
You have to
ones
actually
that are
play the game.
higher up, you've got to invest a
Lot
ton
of
of
time in the
time
game.
and get a lot of additional accolades to be able to come close to some of these medals. And some of those aren't even like silver or golds. These are like bronze medals, but you have to have certain rankings just to get them.
Yeah.
So it's really kind of paired out. Just
Well,
like
those would be some of the ones that would be retroactive. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So.
But some of them like you're going to put in a lot, and it's really related to the same way that Warhawk plays out with its own medal system.
I had a
There
lot
you
of
go.
fun last night though playing because you just be playing and they'd pop up like a lot of the secret ones or the ones that are just hidden or whatever. They were just showing up. It was neat. I had fun. I think
Very
everybody
good.
should do it.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Like,
Everybody should do it, huh?
Totally.
like make sure, especially with things like the get one down a Warhawk without a rocket launcher.
I did that.
Yeah, it's one of those where you really want to start focusing a lot more on people that are either ground strafing and using machine guns or some other weapons like grenades, which are really good, especially if people are hovering right over the ground, or trying to attach mines on places where people try to fly through because they'll automatically get detonated and taken out. Or those bioforce fields if you have some of the earlier updates.
Your mom's a bioforce field.
Oh,
Damn,
snap.
son.
You go to Germany
boy.
and the monster just comes out of you. Clemens. I don't even know you anymore. I'm going to put you back in timeout, young man.
Real quick too.
Oh no, he's gonna.
Chris, remember, I got
he's gonna
my
mute
Uncharted
you again.
Hey, wait,
Platinum.
hold on. Wait. Greg, which one are you on? Greg, say something real
I
fast.
got my platinum.
You're at number 3. All right. Ryan and Jeff are both in a timeout right now.
Oh no, the timeout. So, anyways,
So now we can have a conversation that
I got
goes
my
well.
Uncharted Platinum. I'm excited.
How'd that go?
It was all right.
Yeah.
Crushing, man.
Get you.
It's crushing. But there's
you go.
enough little ways to break the game, so it's not bad. So I
Very
was
good.
happy with that.
All right. Ryan and Jeff are back in the show.
Why did you mute him?
I
you
got
didn't do
insulted by
anything.
Clemens.
You guys were screaming incoherently.
We were
and I
trying
was
to
like, well,
we were trying to talk about trophies.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I was,
we
I was
had our
trying
own
to
thing
give just
going
the
on.
tip, and Clemens goes off on a random attack.
We can't have 2 shows happening at once.
Here,
It's
I'll
called
give-
Podcast Beyond. It's not Podcast
Yo.
Beyond A and B. It's just
Yo.
one show.
I'm gonna give one more quick trophy tip for Uncharted, which I'm sure a million people know because obviously people have been playing Crushing forever. However, if you're like and this was your first time really trying to go through Crushing all the way, when you get to the water room, which is that room you jump into after blowing up the turret, you jump into that standing water. There's all these pillars and dudes just continually come out and destroy you, which I found hard and annoying on normal and even worse on hard. And then Crushing on Crushing, there is a glitch in the game where if you walk up to that ledge and don't go in, backtrack all the way back out from where you came and find, like right in that giant courtyard, there's a Jeep or there's a truck parked there. You walk up, there's an exploding barrel, blow up the barrel, and then when you walk back in, everybody's generated into the room already, so you can just stand up there from cover and shoot them all to death.
There you go. If you've already blown up the barrel, though, that trick doesn't work.
Well, if you die, I think it resets that barrel.
Oh, there you go. Oh, nice and easy.
Because I'm sure I blew it up on my first time through, but yeah.
There you go. All right, let's get on to the topic of the week.
Topic of the week.
So Monday is September 1st, which I guess August kind of leads in. August is sort of the tease, but as soon as September hits, it's review season. It's basically nothing but games coming out week after week after week.
I'm already too busy.
Yeah, it's crazy. So this week's topic of the week is we're going to talk about
Topic of the week.
just review season, games that are coming out, what we're looking forward to, and how we think Sony's lineup compares with what Microsoft and Nintendo have to offer for the year.
Okay.
I don't think there's really much competition with Nintendo.
No.
There's not really anything there.
True.
So
Wait, as in Nintendo is not doing anything too extra? Okay, that's what I thought.
I mean, for the hardcore gamer, yeah. I mean,
yeah, absolutely. I totally agree.
Yeah. So really, Microsoft's the only competition here. Microsoft obviously has Gears, which is like the
Fable
one of
2.
Fable 2.
and Fable 2.
Yep.
And it has there's a couple RPGs coming out.
Yep. When does not Infinite on Discovery? What's
Tales
the other
of
one?
Vesperia.
No. The other Square game that's cross-platform.
Last Remnant.
Last Remnant. There we go. When does that come out again? I know that's cross-platform. I was just curious.
I think that might have gotten pushed back to 2009.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Yes, Tales of Vesperia just came out.
Don't try to humor me now.
Yeah, but so 360 definitely has the stronger RPG lineup for the remainder of the year. Sony's stuff is still off in the distant, who the hell knows when future.
Whoa. We get Valkyria Chronicles this year. And
It's
you know
not
how
an
excited.
RPG.
It's
It's
Okay,
a
well,
strategy game.
Just because it's a
That's
strategy game doesn't
arguable.
mean it can't be a strategy RPG. That's what it is.
I'm gonna kill you.
I'm just saying you can't if I say it's an action adventure, you can't say it's an adventure game because it has adventure in the title. It's an action and an adventure. Thus, it's a strategy game and an RPG. Your characters level up.
All right, we'll give you a
have
buy on
magic.
this one. We'll give you a buy.
There we go.
But
I don't know what that
but
means.
I mean, for the whatever. But for the hardcore RPG guys, like the Japanese, JRPG dudes, 360 has that edge clearly.
Yes.
Fable 2 looks pretty good, and 360 has the biggest release of the year with Gears of War. It's there's not really a whole lot to compete with that. But a lot of the other games that are coming to 360, the PS3 is also going to have, and in some cases you could argue that some of the forms would be better. Fallout 3 is coming to every system, so that's pretty huge. Obviously not coming to the Wii, but so that's a pretty big one. We got a bunch of reader mail asking just how that game's looking. We may be able to tell you more about that game next week.
Possibly.
What?
Possibly. Woo. Yes, it looks pretty rad. Sony, of course, has Little Big Planet, which looks awesome. Resistance 2 is coming out at some point. SOCOM is slated for September?
October now.
October, that's right.
Wah, wah.
Sony's got a pretty good lineup. I think Sony of this year has a stronger
Overall lineup?
overall. Yeah,
Yeah, totally.
they hit more genres. They're stronger games and all those things. If you want a shooter, if you want an RPG in Fallout, if you want a strategy game in Valkyria Chronicles, which I'm gonna refer to that as strategy as opposed to RPG. Ryan is shivering over in the corner.
Not a shiver, a sigh.
You had the shoulder movement.
That was a shiver.
That was a
also
freak
some
out.
sort of
That was
some sort of spasm.
Yeah. But I don't know. What games are you guys looking forward to playing this year?
Little Big Planet.
Yeah.
Lego Batman.
Ghostbusters.
Don't.
You're just trying to hurt him.
Why? Right.
Do you
Oh,
really
no, you
want to
did it.
hurt him?
Why?
Are you still excited?
Do you
It
really
could
want to
still
make
come.
him cry?
Yeah,
It
but it
could still
probably
come.
won't. Probably won't.
Ooh, and we have pretty cool
Rock Band 2.
Rock Band 2 and Guitar Hero, which is going to be pretty awesome. And there's also some pretty cool racing games coming out this year. We have the Burnout Bikes pack is due sometime in September, so that's pretty sick. And Midnight Club LA, from what I've seen, looks awesome. I've played it a fair bit, and it's great fun. So I'm pretty excited for that. So racing fans should have a good bit to look forward to.
Wrestling games.
Yeah,
I'm up to
wrestling
my
games are on
elbows
the-
in wrestling games right now.
Yep.
That's all I do.
Up to the turnbuckles.
Yep.
Oh. Although, I think that, just to go back to shooters as opposed to turnbuckles, PS3's getting Bioshock, or
That's
The
very
Shock, The Shocker, take your pick. And it looks it looks really good. It looks really good. That's going to be for you.
Wow.
Jeff
Don't
just
do
made the
that
shocker,
in my
Ryan.
direction.
But Bioshock looks really good, and the improvements that they made for the PS3 exclusively are one of those things that even if you've played it on the 360, you'll want to go back and replay this on the PS3. That one really looks good, and I think hopefully Brothers in Arms will be just as good too. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I mean, we've seen different builds here and there, but it should be coming out later on in September.
Yeah,
So
and
that's
what's really cool about this year too is everybody's talking about all these big games. Obviously, sports coming to the PC and those sorts of things. You got Fallout and Gears and Resistance and all those sorts of things. There's lots of other, what you can kind of say is littler games that are going to be super solid. Like Dead Space looks pretty awesome.
Yeah.
That game's coming out fairly soon. There's lots of little things where you're like, even aside from all those big releases, you're going to have a lot of filler space, to get you from week to week, something new to play every week, which is kind of, it reminds me of the old days where it was last year. I don't remember it being quite as bad. There were a ton of great games last year, but it reminds me of the old days where there were so many games in a season that a lot of games would get overlooked. Like when the first Prince of Persia came out, I know a lot of people played that game, but it didn't pick up as well as I know a lot of press and whatever had been playing the game for a while. I'd hoped that it would, because it was stuck in there with a ton of other games, and that I think is going to happen to some of the games this year. Valkyria Chronicles may happen to, aside from the people that are looking forward to that game are going to get it, but that may not go wide outside of that realm because of things like that. Dead Space may have that problem.
Well, yeah, but Valkyria might have a little bit of an advantage because it's coming out in November, and the titles that are kind of slated around there aren't even in the same kind of genre or kind of like competition with it. So it might have a better chance. October, on the other hand, is going to be a bloodbath because, when you've got things like Little Big Planet, Dead Space, BioShock, like Confrontation, you've got all of these coming out within maybe 7 days, 10 days of each other. That's at least a good $200 that you could throw down on 4 quality games, and
Did you mention that Fallout was in there?
That's right. There's a little title named Fallout. So $250 that you're going to be finding your wallet a little bit lighter. Or if you buy the Pit-Boy
from Amazon.
Oh, well then that's $129. And believe me, I've been arguing with my credit card as to whether or not I want to get that.
But then you have when Rock Band 2 hits the PS3, which release date unconfirmed so far. But then you have the Ion Drum Kit, which if you pick that thing up, as another $300 in your total, which
I'm taking that a second loan.
We've played that thing, and oh my god, it's awesome. It's so cool.
Really?
It is
what's so good about it?
Have you not played it?
No.
One, it's quieter.
I don't play the drums, though.
It's in the demo room.
Okay.
One,
go.
Well, I know it's here.
It is incredibly quiet.
Yeah.
Like, you could pound on the thing and...
It's not silent.
No, it's not silent,
but it sounds
it's a lot
more
quieter
like
than
the
first
old drums. You know what they sound like. You hit them, it sounds like you're beating on a thing of plastic or whatever.
And your neighbors would complain incessantly.
The Ion drum
Australian Ben.
The Ion drum sounds sort of like you're hitting a pillow with a drumstick. Like, you can hear it definitely, but it's muted. It's not nearly as loud. It doesn't have the high pitched, like, kind of tinny almost sound of hitting a piece of plastic.
The other part is the kick pedal is so much more solid than the first one. You can actually pump on it and bounce on it, and you're not going to have any problems.
And what's cool is, the cymbals are awesome, all that. And the cymbals are actually way quieter than I thought they would be, too. They're not, from what I've played of it, the cymbals are really not much louder than the pads themselves, which is kind of amazing. But the awesome part is that if you want to take the whole experience to the next step and you actually want to start recording drums and playing those, you can just buy a different brain for the kit, throw that in there, all of a sudden you've got a full electronic kit. So, which is pretty rad. So you can, I don't know what the brains cost anymore, but say $200 probably, and all of a sudden you've got you can go play a live show with it, which is awesome.
That's the thing that's going to be phenomenal.
The only unfortunate bit about that thing is it is a monster to set up.
And
so
it's not as easy to break down either.
Yeah,
so
you're not going to be. It folds a little bit depending on how you kind of put the things in there, but it's going to take up living room space.
Well, yeah, it's an investment. It's a kit. It's the same thing. Like
so you need a studio in your apartment basically.
Luckily.
And don't forget all the PSN titles going back to so many games coming out. There's a lot of really good ones.
Wipeout, which they're saying is fall.
Yeah.
That game may eventually come out.
Hopefully.
And Home will be out by the end of the year. Confirmed.
We'll see Home
in beta.
Well, 100% confirmed. That was according to the producer.
I don't believe it.
Yeah, just weren't you enjoying life with PlayStation last month?
Yes.
And then when I got pushed to this month, I've been enjoying it nonstop.
Yes.
So yeah,
I'm just saying
maybe when it comes out next month, I'll be enjoying it even more.
Right.
And the month after that.
Physically, it could be possible that Home does not come out by the end of this calendar year. But I'm just saying that when I was talking to this guy during the German Games Convention, he seemed like so completely positive. Like there was no doubt in his mind. Like he was like, it would be ridiculous if it was not. No, it was not.
He lies a lot.
It was.
Well, doesn't lie, but he fits.
Was one of the producers of Home, and he was like 100% confirmed. I can guarantee you that this will come out by the end of this calendar year.
Right. Well, we should.
In fact, he said that they technically may even have a date picked out, but he just wasn't at liberty to say it.
There you go. Very good. Anything else anybody wants to add to the topic before we get out of this?
Flower.
Oh yeah, Flower.
But is that definitely coming out this year?
Yeah, I don't know.
So
Might
now
be.
you're just speculating.
I just forgot when it was.
I found myself in an unenviable situation, and the problem is that I am very excited for Infamous, and and Killzone 2, and both are right after the year. So I'm kind of like, but not like meh, because there's a lot of great stuff coming.
Yeah.
But I'm not as excited as
How
I
are you
should be
meh
for this
about
year.
Little Big Planet
I'm
coming in
excited
like a
about
month
Little
or
Big Planet.
two?
Very excited about it.
Yep.
That's what I said.
All
Well,
right.
see, the thing that I like about Infamous and Killzone being next year is if they were coming out during
They'd
this
get
holiday
overshadowed.
season,
They'd fight
it
each
would-
other. Yeah.
Well, even if they weren't overshadowed, you don't have the time to play all these games.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it's bad enough that we're already talking about Valkyria and Dead Space and all those games getting overshadowed, and it would be even worse if those.
I
were
know.
coming out.
I know.
So, I mean, you have people saying, "I have $150 to spend during holiday season. What 3 games do I buy?" And we're like, "Well, you have to play 8 of them."
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And most of those coming out in October anyway, so it's...
Hey, when I mentioned the racing thing, I forgot about MotorStorm. I don't know how I forgot about MotorStorm.
yeah.
Drift, yeah.
But
Nice.
yeah, that game looks pretty rad right now. So there's another one. I don't know how I forgot that.
Come on, Robert.
Get
it together.
It's Thursday. My daughter keeps waking up at 3 a.m. It's not fun.
Ouch.
Let's get on to some reader mail.
Chain
Maelstrom.
Malnutrition, malice,
Mailbag.
First piece of mail comes to us from Black Mantle. He says, will Resistance 2 ever receive its own unique subtitle, or will Resistance continue the tradition of games like Halo Combat Evolved, which obviously just became Halo 2 and 3? It appears not, since on Tuesday, up through Tuesday midnight, we posted the vote for the Resistance cover, which we will be revealing the winner of such pretty soon, or the Resistance Collector's Edition cover, I should say. Mm-hmm. So there is a Collector's Edition for the game coming, which we will also be able to tell you about the contents of that pretty soon. But since we've seen the possible covers and there is no subtitle, then no, there's not going to be a subtitle.
I like that. I don't need a subtitle.
I don't know.
We're lost in subtitles.
Subtitles are a little overrated now, I think. There's so many subtitles. The colon is becoming a universal symbol in game titles right now, and I don't like it. Oh,
It's true.
Yeah,
I
but
am
it
2
seems,
dots.
it seems weird to me to have a game that
I wasn't talking about that colon.
that had a subtitle, then drop it for the sequel.
Mm-hmm.
The first game was only called Resistance, and then the second was Resistance 2. Cool, but the first was
Rise
Resistance.
of Man.
Resistance Fall of Man. Then the
Fall of
second
Man,
one should
yeah.
have been
Fall of
Rise
Man.
of Man or whatever the hell, or
March to War.
Destruction of Earth or whatever you want to call it.
Destruction of Earth. and then,
Destruction of
and then the
Earth.
series ends. It's
The
not a
end.
trilogy.
Well,
Resistance
that's
2,
not
the
true
end.
because going by Dragon Ball Z, you can blow up the planet and
And
only
everything's
take
okay.
away.
I certainly hope they have more logic than Dragon Ball Z.
I hope they
You
don't.
never know.
Epidemic writes in and says, I hope he's not dying or something. Writes in and says, Fallout 3 Game of the Year, am I right? Certainly possible. Game looks awesome.
Maybe.
Big Boss X Hunter says, with the power of the PS3, do you think we will be able to buy pay-per-views? So here's the deal with pay-per-views is the difference between a pay-per-view and something that's on demand is that pay-per-view is live, right? I mean, you can get pay-per-view stuff. Well, most of the time you're thinking about pay-per-view stuff that's live. Is it WrestleMania or UFC or those sorts of things. There are certainly pay-per-view movies, but that's not different than renting them. So I'm going to take this angle from the live pay-per-view, and in that case, you're talking about you would need to be able to stream the movie to the system, show or whatever you're watching, which you could do. You need some pretty hefty bandwidth.
Well, technically, in some ways, they are doing that as you purchase a movie or
Yes,
you're renting a
because
movie.
you can start-
You can start seeing it a little bit after you've started. The
Right.
download.
The problem is with live stuff. I don't know how that would work because it would be streaming live, but then you'd be buffering it.
Mm-hmm.
So really what would be happening is on a technical side, the show would be getting recorded to Sony side, and you would have basically purchased it immediately before the show's even been done recording.
Right.
And then you're watching the recording.
Well, they need to
So-
partner with Akamai or some other streaming provider that
Yeah.
would have some kind of backbone established for it that was also tied into the PSN.
Yeah. I mean,
so they could do it.
it's possible. I mean, you can watch, stuff streaming online. You can watch live, news stuff. So you could certainly do it, but I don't think it would work necessarily in the way that it's set up right now. But we'll see. American Ninja 1 says, do you guys have any info on when the next PS3 firmware update will be coming and what new features will it have? There's rumors that it has a screen capture thing where you can do whatever and it takes a picture, but that's a total rumor, and for most, I don't know, it'd be kind of cool to have that in there, especially for us. Taking screenshots way the hell easier. But we don't know anything else besides that, and that's probably fake. And no idea when it's coming. Who the hell knows?
Zombie Blogneck hasn't said anything about
No.
that.
Stupid.
He's just been moaning and biting people.
Solidus 2K2 says he feels like Sony's made a mistake in not letting multiple counts on the same console play against one another. His girlfriend and I each has their own account on the PS3 that they share. Obviously, whenever they're both playing a game that has a local multiplayer, we want to be able to use our own profiles against each other, but that is impossible. So if they're playing Rock Band, they can only use the characters that are on one of the accounts, but not both of them, et cetera, et cetera. He says, when Little Big Planet comes out, one of us will not be able to use our own Sackboy and Sackgirl and playing together. That is incorrect!
Oh, snap,
So here's
son.
something that's pretty cool about Little Big Planet is that if there is if you're playing the game and somebody else hits start on a controller, it'll let you sign in as a profile. So you can pick just like you can pick guest and it'll just show up as like, whoever's friend, or you can actually pick from one of the profiles on the system. I do not know if that helps with trophy count or if it takes over your save stuff or whatever, but I imagine in some fashion it's got to do that because it will work with your profile in some fashion.
Yeah.
I don't believe that you have access to your friends list or anything like that, but you should be able to use your stuff to tag stuff online for you at least. Do that sort of thing. So that part's pretty cool.
Yeah, boy.
He continues on Solidus 2K2 continues on and says, do you think there's any need for cross-profile local multiplayer to be added to the PS3, or do you think it's a small issue that most people don't encounter or care about? I think it's a huge issue. I really want to see this on there. I play a lot of games with my wife, a lot of Lego games and that sort of thing, for her to not be able to get trophies, or whatever, is kind of sucky for her.
That was, you look back at the Super Stardust when those trophies came out, and there was that one where you had to keep the link together. Like, we had to go to each other's systems and then move to the other person's system and do it.
Once per person. You couldn't, kill two birds with one stone on that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I really hope that gets changed. I don't know how the way that it's set up, it'd be a weird change for the system, but, I don't know. Hopefully they get that added in at some point, maybe 3.0 or something. WS002 says he was listening to Game Scoop, episode 90, and a comment was made in passing about a practical joke that was played on me at E3. And he's hoping for a story, but nobody elaborated story time. So
noes.
Here's what happened. I'll tell you from my end first. So this would have been early in the morning.
Friday morning.
So Thursday partying morning going into Friday morning, or Thursday partying night going into Friday morning.
Yeah.
And I had gone to see Dark Knight. It opened. We went to the 12:37 a.m. showing, and I come out of the movie, and not everybody went because people didn't want to they were worried about being too tired for the plane ride the next day, and so instead they went bar hopping, which is
I didn't go bar hopping.
Whatever.
Bar
Ryan didn't go bar hopping, but other people went bar hopping. So I'm come out of the movie, had a great time in the movie, obviously, and I'm standing on the corner waiting for a cab, and I get a phone call from Clayman, and he goes, oh my God, he's like, I forget exactly what he says, but he's like, you should know, Ryan is going crazy. He kicked in a window at the bar. He's going crazy. He's throwing up everywhere right now. And I'm like, where are you? I'm getting pissed off. I'm screaming. I'm like, where the hell are you? And he's like, we're in your room. And he's like, he's throwing up everywhere.
And he's spinning.
and he's that part comes later. So I'm
That's my favorite part.
So it was a pain in the ass for us to find a cab. So I go, I'm going to be there as soon as humanly possible. I hang up the phone. I can't slam it because it's my cell phone, but I throw it in my pocket as hard as I could. Get into a cab. I'm like on my way over there. I get another call. Something, still everybody's going crazy. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? I get to the hotel, and I'm downstairs, just gotten out of the cab. I get another call from Clayman who says that Ryan he's throwing up and he's spinning. and he's like, and I go, what did he throw up on? And he's like, well, he was spinning, but it's okay. I cleaned it all up. And I'm like, what the hell did he throw up on? Is he projectile vomiting while spinning in a circle? I'm like, that can't be good. And I'm going crazy. I'm like, what are you assholes doing? I'm like, this is terrible. Again, I get pissed off. I run upstairs, and there's Colin and Eric are in the bathroom, like making vomiting noises, whatever they're doing. Ryan's laying in the bed. Greg is in the bed with Ryan, passed out. And Hillary was in there. Hillary had beaten me back from the movie, so he was already there. And Clayman was in the room. Yep. And everybody's just like acting like idiots. They had stolen a sign from somewhere, so that's in the room. So that was the first thing I saw when I came in. So it already looked chaotic to me. So I come in and I see this, and Ryan hadn't done anything at all. He wasn't throwing up.
He didn't even go out that night.
He didn't even go out. He was sleeping. And from what happened was Eric called up Ryan and said something to the effect of,
No, let me tell you from my perspective. Let me stop you there and start it here.
Take over.
So what happened is, we went to the karaoke bar beforehand to start the night and started drinking, and then eventually the crew split into two. People who wanted to keep drinking and go out, or didn't want to go see, and then people who wanted to go see Batman at the midnight show. And then, so two groups start. You go with the other group, I'm with the other group. We drink for a while, and we're at the karaoke bar, decide we're done there, and we leave. So we had to wander around downtown trying to find a cab, or not even downtown, I guess, way off. But we find a cab, go back, decide that we are going to stop at the hotel, and then go to this bar down the street or whatever and drink there some more. So we get out, we get out of the car. I broke off for a second, and then I went later to meet everybody at this bar, and I got to the bar, and the bouncer wouldn't let me in because I was wearing shorts. And so I called them, and I said, hey, they won't let me in to wear shorts. Now, this bar is literally next to our hotel, so I'm like, it's no big deal if you want me to go back and change and then, put some pants on, but if the bar sucks, tell me so I don't pay, we just leave now. It's no big deal. Like, whatever, we're coming down. So they come down, and it's Brudvig, Clayman, Colin, Will Tuttle was up there. And so they come down, and Will Tuttle's like, dude, let him in. What the hell, man? This is Greg Miller from IGN. And the bouncer goes, IGN, I read that site all the time. And then he looks at me and goes, hey, weren't you on TV? And I'm like, yeah, G4 a couple of times. I'm like, so will you let me in? He goes, no. he's like, I'd love to, man, but they're just going to kick you out upstairs. I'm like, all right. He's like, you just need a pair of jeans. I'm like, all right. So I'm feeling good. And I go back to Jeff and my room, and I open up the suitcase, and I look in, and I'm enough drunk to the point now where I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to put on my Gruesome Greggy outfit. So I throw on the Gruesome Greggy t-shirt and the suit coat and the pants and the sunglasses. It's the middle of the night. Sunglasses, no real glasses, which I do need. Leave the place, go to the bar, drink till they close down the bar. Then we come back, and we're like, now we're really drunk. We're like, Ryan's such a jerk. Why wouldn't he come out? He doesn't know what E3's really about, yada, yada. So we go to Ryan and yours room and are pounding on the door, and Ryan refuses to open the door.
I actually didn't hear you.
Doesn't open the door whatsoever.
Yeah. I didn't even ever hear pounding on the door.
So we leave, and we're trying to figure out a way to do this, and finally Brudvig's like, I know. Brudvig picks up the phone, calls him. We're all dead quiet, and he's like, yo, dude, I got broken up from the group, and I've been getting sick, and they're threatening to kick me out of the hotel, and I can't remember where my room is.
It's like he sounded effed up.
Can I just come hang out with you until I get fixed or go to bed or whatever? Yeah. Blah. And Ryan, of course, being the good guy, is like, sure, don't just come on up. So Brudvig comes up, and it's me, Clayman, Colin, everybody else, and there's like the indentation of the door, it kind of jets out like a couple body lengths. So Brudvig stands in the middle and knocks on the door, and then we all hide Solid Snake style, pressed up against the wall on the side. And as soon as Ryan opened the doors, we pour around and pour inside. And we had gone downstairs and gotten the free beer that was at the war room. So I have beers in all of my pockets with this suit coat and everything else. And so, Ryan lets us in. We drink some more beer.
Well, I didn't let you in, but I accidentally let you in.
We forced our way in. I tried to get Ryan to drink one beer. He won't even do that.
I sipped on it.
I eventually passed out next to Ryan, and the next thing I know, I hear the door slam, and you come in, and you just go, what the F is going on in here? And it was so loud, and it was so out of character for you and everything else in the room, that it was just met by immediate awkward silence. Of I was like, is he joking, or is this real? And then he goes, and then you just didn't miss a beat. You stop and look at Ryan and go, I hear you're vomiting and spinning in circles. And I just lost it. And at that point, and we're like, no, it's a joke. I wasn't even awake for the Clayman calls.
I was the one that said it. I was like, relax, it's okay. Yeah. It's just a joke. Nothing actually happened.
And then you looked around for a second and realized everything was all right. It was the maddest I've ever seen you. Yeah. It was the best day ever.
Yeah. So that was that one.
You're forgetting when Clayman almost got paralyzed.
I probably was asleep.
That was the funniest part for me, and also the scariest, because Colin Clayman's just dancing around drunk because he's just totally gone. Colin's gone. Colin all of a sudden, just laughing, just puts his arm around Clayman and then throws him over his shoulder. Now this is on hard tile floors, okay? Nice. They're both wasted. And all of a sudden Colin because he's just gone, he just falls backwards. So he basically picks up Clayman and then just falls backwards and sends Clayman's neck straight towards the tile floor.
So suplex.
Almost paralyzed.
There's a lot of parts that doesn't make sense in retrospect.
Yeah, I know. And Clayman luckily kind of grabbed onto the bed as he was going down and cushioned his fall, but that was scary for the sober one.
The E3 War Room backed up to where the IGN higher ups party, the official IGN party was at, and it was all this plush furniture and carpet and drinks and everything. And so after we were drinking the War Room, we eventually went over there and started sitting in the nice chairs and drinking there. And after me and Colin talked about our futures with IGN for about an hour and how we never want to leave and we love it here and blah blah. I don't remember how we went from that to this jump, but we both decided to take our shirts off. So we were both sitting topless in this IGN thing drinking. I forget why we did it, but it happened for sure.
Wow. I didn't hear that ever.
Yeah.
Wow.
So there you go. So that's the story of the joke.
Of IGN.
That's what
Jim's
happens when
Curry
you make
Party.
people work till 3 in the morning every night,
Yep.
and then wake up at 9 and do it again. Something
Yep.
breaks down on the final night when there's nothing to do.
Yep. Continuing on with reader mail. Well, I don't know how we can continue after that, but Ramesh, I think I said his name right, says, where's the coverage for Tekken 6? It's only been one of the best fighters out there, and Namco Bandai have stopped releasing coverage on it or giving us a release date. I mean, I played it in Japan. It seems finished. Man, if we could cover it, we would. They're not telling us anything. So if you want to write us an article, post it in like the board.
With real sources.
Yep.
Don't just write.
Stylix
Like I do.
says, have we heard anything about the PSP version of Midnight Club Los Angeles? He held off on the first Midnight Club for PSP after reading the review. We have not seen anything on it. They're basically, this is what a lot of people do. You have same, it's a different take on the game, but, same name basically. It's called Remix or whatever. But anyway, I think it's called Remix. But anyway, so you have the game coming out on 2 systems, and they're going to show the better version. Obviously, that's the focus. So they're showing the PS3 and 360 one, obviously, and we'll hear about the PSP one probably at the last second. Stylix continues on, and he says he has a favor to ask Greg.
Hey.
I don't know why, but Greg specifically. But he says, the next time you go to Japan, could you get me a Japanese import of Britney Spears' album Blackout? He really wants the bonus tracks, and import prices are ridiculous. He'd be more than happy to pay you the $15 or $20 for the CD. Thanks.
I'm not going to Japan anytime soon, but
Yeah.
when
I
I do, I will do it for you.
I'm going to Tokyo in a month.
There you go.
So there you go.
Ryan will buy it.
I'll
but
keep my
you
eyes out.
You didn't ask Ryan for it, so maybe
Yeah, I don't
next
know
week
if I will.
Yeah, he could took you off.
Roy writes in and says, hey,
Roy Bahat?
no.
Oh.
No. He says, for those of you, that guy, he's our CEO, by the way, but anyway, he probably doesn't listen to the show, but he says, for those of you that saw Heavy Rain behind closed doors, did any of the developers mention a
Stop
replay
it.
system?
No.
I hate that.
Ryan, you're the one that listened to the show. I'm cutting you off again.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm cutting you off.
No, God, no!
Yes.
All right, you're back in.
Oh,
All right. He says, for anybody that saw Heavy Rain behind closed doors, Ryan,
Yep.
did the developers mention a replay system? Considering that the game is meant to be played like a movie, wouldn't it be cool to have replays where you could watch the level with different cinematic camera views and such?
Yes, they did not. Well, I should say, first of all, the entire game is cinematic camera views and in a very impressive way. But he didn't say anything about a replay, but he did say that you play from start to finish without any interruptions, no game overs, no continues, no loading screens. So I imagine that after you finish the game proper, maybe there's like a scene select or something that you can jump to.
Wait, how can
Gotcha.
there not be a game over if you can potentially be murdered?
You
by
can,
the origami
and it's
killer?
completely elastic. It will change the story. If your character gets killed, it'll just keep going, and you'll move to a different scene or to a different character.
See, that is awesome.
That's
You will
awesome.
not. You will never experience a single time where you have to start again or do a game over or see a loading screen. As soon as you start that game, you can go through the entire thing.
The only problem with that is if you really want to see what happens to a character if they live the whole time and you die in the last scene of the game, you're like, not gonna play the whole thing again. Yeah,
But yeah,
but
Maybe
yeah,
multiple save files?
yeah, I guess that would work. Jason Billingsley says, hello, podcast Beyond Team. Beyond! I was wondering if Greg or someone else could confirm the story from some wrestling video game website that they say are the limitations of TNA Impact. If any of these things are not allowed to be talked about, feel free to say so. But here's all of the points that they made. Yay or nay these, or no can say. No created wrestlers online.
Correct.
Online is 1-on-1 and 1-on-1 Ultimate X only.
I know for sure it's 1-on-1. I thought it was just 1-on-1, straight 1-on-1, but I don't know for sure.
Okay. Only 5 created wrestler slots.
Correct.
No ankle lock, axe kick, scorpion deathlock, etc.
Yeah, a lot of signature moves of wrestlers are missing.
No double team moves.
Correct.
Match types there's a huge list here, but I'll just read them. 1-on-1 tag team, triple threat, free for all, fatal 4-way, 2-on-1 handicapped, fall count anywhere, submission, Ultimate X 1-on-1, Ultimate X triple threat.
Sounds right.
Okay. That there's no stamina.
What? Yeah, not like in the he's gonna get winded or holding down like in wrestling or WWE.
Chairs are the only weapon.
Correct.
No disqualifications or countouts in any match.
Correct.
No alternate attires. Kevin Nash only has polo and jeans t-shirt attire.
Correct. You can alternate attire created wrestlers.
There you go. There's only 7 grapples.
Yeah, there's like 7 grab buttons off the grab button. Or
Okay.
7 moves you can do off the grab button.
And the creator wrestler doesn't get announced. He doesn't call out the names when he comes in.
Correct.
Okay, so those are all very correct. So there you go.
Also, what was his name?
This is, let me turn back a page.
He had a lot of questions.
This is Jason.
Jason, hey, I'm sure you know this, being such a huge TNA fan already, but today we have a gigantic Q&A going up with Midway where they talk about those things and more and what they have to do in the future and why it didn't come through like this and yada, yada, yada. It's 13 Word document pages. God only knows how many IGN pages that's going to turn out to be. Yeah. All asked by IGN readers off the TNA message board.
There you go. MTB writes in. He says, "I've noticed in a few podcasts that one of you occasionally snorts and you laugh.
Ryan.
Just wondering who it is because
That's me.
I'm surprised nobody makes fun of them. It is indeed Ryan.
Actually, that's kind of funny that no one's really even commented.
We made fun of you about enough stuff. What else?
Yeah, that's true.
and you have snorted during the show.
Yeah, during earlier, and then actually I was about to mention that question, but I figured you'd get to it.
Yeah.
So.
That's the end of our reader mail for the week. Lots of stuff to go through there. Let me look at our little handy-dandy chart thing here. Let's go right on to the PSN hit because this was included as one of our things. This is another piece of reader mail, and this is great suggestion, sad story, kind of screwy. Jedi Ratchet writes in. He says, while he's at work, nothing helps the time go by faster than Podcast Beyond. Recently, his girlfriend broke up with him via. Here's the kicker. This is why she is going to be hit of the week. She broke up with him via the myresistance.net forums.
Oh man.
He doesn't know a reason. She just drop kicked him, told him to F off, and left. So the only thing that he thinks of when somebody does you dirty like that is that she deserves to be the hit of the week.
Agreed.
Yes, very much agreed. Her PSN is Toxic Sorkids, I think. TOXIC SORCHIDS. So Toxic SORCHIDS.
It could also be Toxic Orchids because I tried.
Toxic Orchids.
Yeah, I know, but like I went to the My Resistance forums to try to find this post because I wanted to see exactly what it was, just to point out how horrible this is.
Oh, you think he stuck an extra S in there?
It might be an extra S because I think on that forum I think it's Toxic Orchids.
Okay.
So it could be Toxics Orchids or Toxic Orchids.
Yeah, the no S makes a little more sense. Maybe it's a typo, but
you might need to check both.
Yeah, but so there you go. The hit. He doesn't give her first name or anything like that, but so the hit is definitely on her.
Do it.
PSN lethal hit confirmed.
There you go. Go take her down.
Tell her how evil she is.
Yeah, tell her not to break up with people
hit confirmed.
on message forums. It's bad enough to do it via a phone call,
text message,
a text message, or like a voicemail or something. But at least via voicemail, the person is telling you. She just went there and probably copied and pasted from somebody else's breakup or whatever else.
I question the validity of it.
Well,
was this really his girlfriend or his online girlfriend, his resistance girlfriend?
I broke my pen.
Ryan has broken his pen as well, folks.
Just like Ralph Wiggum, did you break your Wookiee too?
I bit my Wookiee.
I bit my Wookiee.
There we go. What's the status of the NCAA tournament?
Oh, we just finished up week 3, and we're
Yes.
moving now to Monday and Thursday. Push it through to get it all done. Week 3 ended. Shamed Alexis K-State. They had the week off. Over on the Texas Tech side, who is run by Sticks and Picks, he won 70-7 against SMU. I narrowly defeated Nevada as the Missouri Tigers 24-17. The big upset of the week was Jeff falling. He's OU. Washington beat him 16-9.
Yeah.
Jeff, do you want to comment on this at all?
It was a Hail Mary. What do you want? What are you gonna do?
Nothing. We're just saying. I would make a bigger deal out of this, but the more news is coming out of the Rolls-Royce 5-game. Rolls-Royce is, of course, the Kansas Jayhawks, who I don't trust and hate. And anyone who would be willing to be the Jayhawks, clearly wrong in the head and probably a bad person. I can't confirm how bad Rolls-Royce 5 is, but I can tell you that I had a warning message on his game that said he restarted it 6 times.
6 times.
Now, I did PSN message Rolls-Royce, and he said, oh, well, my 3-year-old, turned it off via the controller. Quit the game when it was at the start screen 3 times on the controller. And then it wouldn't upload his stats sometimes, so he had to keep playing. I find this doubtful because he's, Kansas Jayhawks, so he's clearly not a good person. that's where we stand with that. On the other side of Editor Beatdown, we're not confirming any times. Everyone is extremely busy right now. However, I will be playing Warhawk a lot tonight and throughout the weekend, so feel free to try to join up with me then. Ryan will jump in when he has the chance.
If I have a chance, this weekend.
There you go.
Lots of beats.
Tournament winners.
Yes. So apparently, the other week, USA won Canada, rescuing it from the world in a true miracle on ice fashion with the help of G-Funk Era and War Dog 1368.
Thank God for G-Funk
You have the
Era.
regulators?
What's that?
You have the regulators, Warren G? Nate Dogg?
Regulators.
Mount up.
So the Team USA finally was victorious in such games as NHL 08, NCAA 09, Elefunk, Commando 3, and Poker. They were clear.
Man, they ran the gambit in that one.
They were really. That was a very broad array.
Right up in that.
And I would like to throw this out there. Can I say the Beast story that I told you earlier?
Yeah, do that.
Because I thought this was pretty funny. As some listeners might know, Beast786, the guy who was my contact for all these tournament things.
He's your man on the inside.
Yeah, he was the man on the inside.
I hope
He
he's
was
making them up.
He was mysteriously. He's just totally.
He just makes up random results and teams and all that stuff every week.
We've taken the Farallon Islands.
He was totally absent. I think it was it was the week beforehand, I think, when I wasn't in Germany.
Yeah.
But anyway, he was absent, and I was like, oh, he's probably a hardcore gamer. He's just playing some game. He's dedicated and sets up these tournaments, but who knows? But in his message to me this week, he mentioned that for the delay, it was actually because I, quote, just finished my fellowship in oral and maxillofacial surgery and started my job last week, meaning that Beast786 is actually wicked smart and apparently some sort of dental surgeon. So that's kind of intense that he also has coordinated and community tournament
There you
stuff.
go.
So
Community beatdown.
yeah, community beatdowns.
There you go.
So
They're fighting the world.
that's awesome,
Yes.
Beast. Congrats on your new job.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think that pretty much brings us to the end of the show. As always, if you have any reader mail, send it to beyond@ign.com. I think, does anybody have anything to mention here?
Jeff's got something.
Yeah, I've got two, actually. One, there was a reader, I believe his PSN was Lil Baller, who wrote us in and said that he was putting Beyond on his shoes because he is the starting point guard for Cabrini College in Pennsylvania.
Nice.
So,
Beyond.
big Beyond up to you.
No pics, no proof.
Oh.
Well,
Did you guys-
No, I'm saying I'm not saying I'm not calling him a liar now. I'm just saying if I don't get
Yeah,
pictures
when the
eventually.
season starts, Lil Baller, send him back in. The other part is also a teaser for next week. And for that, I'm going to turn it over to Chris.
Ooh.
I'm teasing now?
Well, you could.
Well, okay, so we do have a guest next week. Same guest is set up for that one. We're also going to have a second guest to talk about some upcoming content you're going to get for a game. That, I don't know who exactly we're going to be talking to. I know, the studio, and I don't know the timing. Maybe next week, might be the week after.
This is a great
This is an interesting tease.
All right, well, the point of it is we're working with EA to get somebody from Criterion on here to talk about the Burnout Bikes update. So if that doesn't happen next week, it should happen the week after. So that should be pretty cool. So we'll have our other guest. Everybody probably figures out who that is now. Pete Hines. So anyway, yes, there you go. So
Fallout 3.
Yeah, so Pete Hines should be on the show next week to talk about Fallout 3, and then if not next week, then the week after, somebody from Criterion to talk about the Burnout Bikes update,
Yay!
which I've played and it's awesome. So I'm very much looking forward to that. So there we go. Some pretty cool guests coming up. Hopefully it'll get bigger and bigger as the year goes on. We'll have more and more people.
Yeah, we are working on possibly getting some Bioshock people to come in and talk about the specifics of the PS3.
There we
That
go.
should be coming a little bit later on, maybe next month.
That would be very cool.
SmackDown Countdown next week.
We should also try to get Will Wright on here and talk about Spore. It's not coming to the PS3, but that'd be
Just
cool.
talk to him.
Yeah. Anyway,
Ask him why it's not coming to the PS3.
I don't care about that. I just want to talk to him. You can tell us about rocket science and all this kind of crap. Greg, I hear that you have some sort of crazy ending for the show this week.
Well, yes, but it needs a story. Many people remember last week's show. PSN Hit of the Week was Jason Rosenbaum, a former Columbia Daily Tribune. I guess he still works at the Columbia Daily Tribune. Former coworker of mine at the paper. He's a political reporter. He's lanky. We've said all this. Problem is that after I put the hit on Jason Rosenbaum, who knows nothing of PlayStation 3, only plays Rock Band, didn't even know what trophies were till I explained it to him. I guess he got berated with messages of Beyond and Beyond. And on Saturday, he asked me on PSN what all this meant. So I explained to him that he was the hit of the week. Haha, people are going to send you request saying stop playing Rock Band, which, by the way, many people misinterpreted. I am one of the biggest Rock Band fans in the office. I'd go as far as to say, love the game. I don't mean he needs to stop playing Rock Band forever. I mean he needs to play something else on his PS3. He plays nothing else on the PS3 but Rock Band.
So he should continue rocking, but also
spread your
something
horizons,
else.
man. Don't just stick with chocolate. There's vanilla too.
What the hell?
some peanut butter on
And
that.
Rocky Road. I don't know. Anyways,
Was that his Don King? What?
so so Rosenbaum got explained to what it was, and unlike everyone else who gets the PSN hit of the week, he didn't roll over. He went to YouTube with a video attacking me, calling me out for doing this, putting a YouTube hit on me. All this, of course, documented on my blog, Gurgy-IGN, which every Podcast Beyond listener should listen to.
Yep.
And basically called me out. Said, Rock Band's the greatest game of all time. He called harmonics, and then said, if I had any balls, I would take him on in a song contest, which I am doing, and it will be documented hopefully next week on the podcast. What is happening is we're doing a best of 3 competition in Rock Band, singing only. I will be my choice was Danny California on Hard by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. We'll both have to sing this. These are tug of war battles. His pick is Won't Get Fooled Again by The Who, also on Hard. And then the deciding one, if it comes to that, which of course it won't, Ryan, it'll be a random song on Expert. The conditions of this challenge are, if I win, he has to sing 7, one of the harmonic songs on there. Dressed as me, he can do it as college-era Greg with blue hair, Columbia Daily Tribune-era Greg in a shirt and tie, or IGN Greg, awesome
So
guy.
if you win, he has to do Vagiant.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's a great song.
Yes, it is.
Okay. And if I lose, which won't happen, Ryan.
Right, obviously.
I have to sing Still Alive dressed in my best homemade Superman costume.
Ooh.
So there you go. These are the challenge set forth. We're ready to rock. The YouTube thing actually worked really well. I mean, obviously we're never hits of the week, but we get a lot of Podcast Beyond people talking to us. The YouTube did get a lot of people messaging me saying Rock Band is awesome. Stop being stupid.
He put you on blast, including your PSN info at the tail end of
Yeah,
that.
well,
That
it's
was-
really hard to decipher, seeing as how it's attached to everything for me. But yes, still. Anyways, this leads us to the closing song, leading into the greatest battle of my life. Now, a lot of people have compared this feud to a lot of other feuds. Hatfields versus McCoy, North versus South, Bears versus Packers. It happens all the time, but I think in the musical genre, there's only one feud people care about. And I will be singing one of the songs that led to 2 people being killed. Take money, West Side, Rosenbaum killer. Take money, you know the realest is Beyond. Take money, I'll bring it to you. Take money. First off, Beyond you're a bitch. You see, Brisbane when I ride, come equipped with game. You claim to be a player, but you got no games. We bust on Lakey bastards Beyond every day. Plus, listeners trying to see me, hearts I rip. Jason Rosenbaum and company are mark ass bitches. I keep singing while I'm coming for your high scores. Steady mic skills, keep on busting at your fools. Know the rules. Rosenbaum, go ass sing so how I leave you. Cut your young ass up, leave you in pieces. Now be deceased. Jason, don't be on with real G's. Going to snatch your ugly ass off the streets. So Beyond peace.
Beyond.
I let PSN posers know it's on for life. So let the West Side ride tonight. Ha ha. Rosenbaum screwed. He got no skills. Beyond with me and get your cords peeled. You see?
Yeah.
Grab your mic when you see Greggy.
Oh, yeah.
Call Sony when you see Greggy.
Beyond.
You punks challenged me, but you didn't finish the job. Now you're about to feel the wrath of a menace. Beyond, I hit him up. Check this out, Rosenbaum. You know what time it is. I don't even know I'm on this track. Your lack of trophies ain't even on my level. You play no games. You spent $500 on a karaoke machine. Warhawk, Uncharted, Resistance. You don't know anything. So I let my little homie Clements ride on you. Go Beyond, Ryan.
Beyond.
Beyond.
Holy crap.
Bring it, Jason! You are nothing! Toothpick!
Oh, snap.
Glasses wearing Mother Beyonder?
Mother Beyonder.
Oh, snap, son.
We'll see you guys next week.
Money. Take money. I'm gonna kill him.
Beyond.
Drive by singing.